The fog hangs low over Hawkins, Indiana. It clings to the familiar streets like a shroud, muffling the sounds of a town holding its breath. Streetlights flicker, casting long, dancing shadows that seem to twist into monstrous shapes. Something is wrong. The air itself feels thin, charged with an unseen energy that makes the hairs on your arms stand up. It's a feeling everyone in this small town knows all too well. A familiar dread. A cold spot that spreads not from the autumn chill, but from a wound that has been torn open between worlds. A wound that bleeds a dark and creeping corruption into the very fabric of reality, a place we have come to know and fear. Beneath the quiet suburban homes and the darkened storefronts of the Starcourt Mall, another reality breathes. The Upside Down is no longer just a shadow dimension, a dark echo of our own world. It is an active, encroaching nightmare. Vines, thick and pulsating with a malevolent, otherworldly life, have begun to snake their way through the cracks, their tendrils reaching for the light. The sky above Hawkins is no longer a clear, starry expanse. It is a canvas of blood-red lightning, a permanent storm that rages silently, a constant reminder of the war that has finally arrived on their doorstep. The barrier between worlds is not just cracked, it is shattering. But even as the darkness gathers and the citizens of Hawkins prepare for a battle they never asked for, secrets linger in the shadows. These are not the secrets of government conspiracies or hidden labs, but the secrets of creation itself. Netflix and the Duffer Brothers have guarded the final chapter of this saga with a devotion worthy of a top-secret project. They have shown you trailers, shared cryptic posters, and offered carefully worded interviews. But what they haven't told you is far more fascinating. There are stories hidden behind the camera, whispered between takes, and locked away in editing rooms. These are the secrets we are about to uncover. This is more than just a story about a television show. It's a look into the heart of a phenomenon that has captured the world's imagination. It's about the monumental effort, the creative genius, and the quiet moments that have gone into crafting this grand finale. We will pull back the curtain, not to spoil the magic, but to appreciate the magicians who have worked tirelessly to bring this epic conclusion to life. Prepare to step behind the scenes, to walk the sets, and to learn about the challenges, the innovations, and the hidden details that Netflix never wanted you to know. The final journey into the Upside Down begins now. Every story has a beginning. And for Stranger Things 5, that beginning was a mountain of ambition. The Duffer Brothers didn't just want to end the story. They wanted to create a finale that would redefine what was possible for the series. The initial production meetings, held under a thick veil of secrecy, were less about scripts and more about dreams. They spoke of battles on a scale never before seen in Hawkins, of monsters that would make the Demogorgon look like a household pet, and of emotional stakes that would resonate long after the credits rolled. The challenge was immense: how to make the final season feel bigger and more epic than anything that came before it, while still keeping the heart and soul of the show intact. The first secret lies in the sheer scale of the pre-production phase. Before a single camera rolled, an army of artists, designers, and engineers worked for over a year. They built what insiders called the Bible of the Apocalypse, a massive collection of concept art, 3D models, and architectural blueprints. This wasn't just for new creatures or locations. It was for the destruction of Hawkins itself. Every shattered window, every creeping vine, every crack in the pavement was meticulously planned. They had to design a town that was simultaneously familiar and nightmarishly alien, a place where the everyday world was being visibly consumed by the Upside Down. This level of detail was deemed essential to make the threat feel real and immediate. Then came the delays, the whispered about production halts that sent ripples of concern through the fan community. While many assumed these were simple scheduling conflicts, the truth was far more complex. The primary reason for the pause was a technical one. The visual effects required for the season's climax were so advanced that the technology literally needed time to catch up. The VFX teams were developing new software and rendering techniques specifically for the show, pushing the boundaries of what could be achieved on a television budget and timeline. The Duffers made a difficult choice: delay filming and get it right, or rush and compromise their vision. They chose to wait. This waiting game led to another hidden development: the expansion of the show's universe in unexpected ways. During the hiatus, the writers' room never stopped working. They used the extra time to flesh out character backstories and to weave in new narrative threads that would pay off in the final episodes. This period of intense creative incubation allowed them to plant seeds for plot twists that were not in the original outline. Some of the most shocking moments in Season 5 were born from this unexpected pause, turning a logistical challenge into a creative opportunity that deepened the story and its mysteries in ways no one could have predicted. Bringing the ravaged, upside-down infested Hawkins to life was a monumental filming challenge. The production team had to go beyond their Atlanta-based studios, seeking out new locations that could capture the eerie, desolate atmosphere required. They found their answer in a series of abandoned industrial parks and decommissioned military bases. These real-world locations, with their crumbling concrete and rusted metal skeletons, provided the perfect canvas. The set designers then worked their magic, weaving in the signature upside-down aesthetic. They draped entire buildings in custom-made silicone vines, installed flickering, custom-programmed lighting rigs to simulate the dimension's stormy skies, and used acres of black, soil-like material to mimic its corrupted ground. It was a logistical nightmare that involved coordinating massive construction crews around the clock. The special effects were another beast entirely. This season, the practical effects team worked more closely with the visual effects department than ever before. For the new creatures, which the cast and crew nicknamed the Swarm, the team built life-sized animatronic puppets. These weren't just static models. They were complex machines operated by a team of puppeteers capable of snapping their jaws and whipping their tails. This gave the actors something tangible to react to on set, grounding their performances in a sense of real, physical danger. The puppets were then digitally enhanced in post-production, where their numbers were multiplied into terrifying hordes, and their movements were blended seamlessly with CGI. Of course, with great ambition comes great risk. Filming was plagued by a series of unforeseen challenges that tested the crew's resilience. During one major sequence filmed in a waterlogged quarry, a freak weather system caused flash flooding, destroying a portion of an expensive set and causing a week-long delay. In another instance, the complex pyrotechnics for a battle scene triggered a fire suppression system in the studio, drenching the entire soundstage and ruining priceless camera equipment. These moments, though stressful, bonded the cast and crew, who rallied together with a show-must-go-on spirit, often working extra hours to make up for lost time. The advanced visual effects were the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. The VFX team used a technique called digital landscaping to merge the real-world locations with fully computer-generated environments. For scenes where the Upside Down literally spills into Hawkins, they created entire city blocks in a 3D environment. This allowed the directors to move the camera with complete freedom, swooping through collapsing buildings and diving into chasms opening in the streets. This fusion of practical sets, real locations, and cutting-edge VFX is what gives Season 5 its uniquely terrifying and epic visual signature, blurring the line between what is real and what is a digital nightmare. As the scripts for the final season began to circulate, a quiet, palpable sense of gravity settled over the cast. This was it, the last ride. The actors, who had grown up both on and off the screen together, knew they had to deliver the most powerful performances of their careers. Their preparation went far beyond simply memorizing lines. The younger cast members, now seasoned veterans, organized their own workshops. They would meet after hours, without directors or coaches, to run through the most emotionally demanding scenes. They wanted to rediscover the raw, authentic chemistry that had defined their early seasons, ensuring their on-screen friendships felt as real and desperate as ever in the face of the ultimate threat. Millie Bobby Brown, in particular, undertook a rigorous preparation process for Eleven's final arc. Understanding that this season would test Eleven's physical and emotional limits, she worked with stunt coordinators for months, mastering complex wire work and fight choreography. But the physical training was only half the battle. To tap into Eleven's mindset, she reportedly spent time in sensory deprivation tanks, attempting to simulate the void-like state where her powers originated. She also kept a detailed character journal, writing entries from Eleven's perspective to track her emotional journey from a frightened lab experiment to a determined warrior fighting for her found family. This deep dive was her way of saying goodbye to the character that changed her life. The entire cast felt the weight of their characters' journeys. David Harbour, preparing for Hopper's role as a battle-hardened leader, drew inspiration from classic war films, studying the quiet resolve of reluctant heroes. Gaten Matarazzo, whose character Dustin often provides the heart and humor, worked closely with the writers to ensure that even in the darkest moments, his character's spirit would not be extinguished. There were hints of significant changes for everyone. Whispers on set suggested that at least one character would have to make a choice that would fundamentally alter their nature, blurring the lines between hero and something far more complicated. These character shifts were guarded secrets, with actors receiving redacted scripts to preserve the on-set surprises. On the final days of shooting, the atmosphere was thick with emotion. The last scene filmed was not the epic climax, but a small, quiet moment between several of the original cast members. The directors allowed the cameras to roll long after the scripted lines were spoken, capturing genuine tears and heartfelt goodbyes. These raw, unscripted moments of connection were so powerful that the Duffer Brothers decided to incorporate some of this footage into the final cut. It was a testament to the family that had been forged over nearly a decade of collaboration, a final, poignant tribute to the kids from Hawkins who had captured the hearts of millions. The fifth season of Stranger Things didn't just push the story forward, it propelled the show's technical prowess into a new era. The production team embraced emerging technologies to create an immersive and terrifying experience unlike anything seen on television before. At the forefront of this innovation was the widespread use of advanced motion capture suits. For the season's main antagonist, a being far more intelligent and agile than Vecna, the creators wanted a performance that felt both monstrous and unnervingly human. They cast a classically trained stage actor known for his physical performances, who spent the entire shoot in a motion capture suit, his every subtle gesture and menacing movement captured by an array of infrared cameras. This motion capture data was then fed into a powerful new rendering engine, allowing the visual effects artists to craft the creature's final look around the actor's performance. But the innovation didn't stop there. The team utilized real-time rendering, a technology often associated with high-end video games. On set, directors could look at a monitor and see a pre-visualized version of the motion capture actor as the final, fully rendered monster, interacting with the real environment and actors in real time. This gave them unprecedented control over the creature's performance and allowed them to frame shots with a level of precision that would have been impossible in previous seasons, where they were essentially filming actors reacting to a tennis ball on a stick. Another game-changer was the use of the volume, massive, curved LED screens that can display photorealistic three-dimensional environments. While used sparingly to avoid looking too sterile, this technology was crucial for scenes set in the deepest, most mind-bending corners of the Upside Down. Instead of using a traditional green screen, the actors were surrounded by a dynamic, interactive backdrop. If a scene called for a storm of swirling particles and shifting landscapes, the LED walls would display it, casting realistic light and reflections on the actors and the set. This not only helped the cast deliver more believable performances, but also dramatically streamlined the post-production process, as much of the environmental effects were captured in camera. Innovative set design also played a key role in blending the practical with the digital. The production design team built modular, interactive sets. For example, a section of a living room wall might be designed to break apart on cue, revealing a fleshy, pulsating membrane of the Upside Down beneath, complete with practical slime and lighting effects. These set pieces were rigged to work in tandem with the digital effects. When an actor touched a section of a breathing wall, a sensor would trigger a corresponding ripple in the digital environment projected on the volume behind them, creating a seamless and horrifyingly tactile illusion that the two worlds were truly merging. Every production has its secrets, but the vault for Stranger Things 5 is deeper and darker than most. The Duffer Brothers, masters of mystery, have gone to extraordinary lengths to protect their final act. One of the best-kept secrets is the existence of entire scenes that were filmed but deliberately left out of all promotional material, including the full trailers. One such sequence, known internally as the Bell Tower, is rumored to be a 7-minute dialogue-free horror set piece involving two main characters trapped in the ruins of Hawkins' old church. Insiders describe it as one of the most suspenseful and terrifying scenes in the entire series, and its complete absence from any marketing is a deliberate choice to ensure maximum audience shock. Beyond unreleased scenes, the production is rife with hidden plot twists that have been guarded with fake scripts and code-named storylines. It's been whispered that a major character, long presumed to be a steadfast hero, has a hidden connection to the Upside Down that dates back to before the events of Season 1. This revelation is not a simple gotcha twist, but is designed to recontextualize their actions across the entire series, forcing viewers to question everything they thought they knew about their motivations. The clues have allegedly been there all along, buried in throwaway lines of dialogue and subtle background details from past seasons, waiting to be pieced together. Symbolism is also woven into the very fabric of the season, holding keys to its deeper meaning. Pay close attention to clocks, mirrors, and water. These recurring motifs are not just stylistic choices, they are part of a larger symbolic language. The constant presence of broken or malfunctioning clocks, for instance, represents more than just the warping of time between dimensions. It hints at a finite amount of time left for one character in particular. Likewise, reflections in mirrors and water are used to foreshadow a character's internal struggle with a darker half, a doppelganger from the Upside Down that threatens to consume them from within. These symbols are the Duffer's way of telling a second, hidden story just beneath the surface. Perhaps the most tantalizing secret is the one surrounding the season's true villain. While the trailers may point to one obvious big bad, several sources from the production team have hinted that this is a classic misdirection. The ultimate antagonist is not a monster, but an idea, a sentient, parasitic consciousness from the Upside Down that has been manipulating events from the very beginning, acting through various hosts, including some of the creatures we've already met. The final battle, therefore, is not just a physical one against a creature, but an ideological and psychological war for the soul of Hawkins, and more importantly, for the soul of one of our beloved heroes. As the final credits of Stranger Things 5 roll, it will not feel like a neat and tidy conclusion. It will feel like the end of a war. The dust will settle over a changed Hawkins, a town scarred but not broken, and a group of friends bound forever by their shared trauma and triumph. The feeling will be epic, a montage of heroic sacrifices, tearful reunions, and the quiet dawn after a long, dark night. The 80s synth score will swell, not with a sense of finality, but with a bittersweet, melancholic echo. The story of 11, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, Will, and Max, may have reached its climax, but the world they inhabit has been irrevocably altered. The gate may be closed, but the wound will always remain. The secrets we've explored, the grueling production, the actors' emotional journeys, the technological leaps, and the hidden plot threads all converge into this powerful finale. They are the invisible architecture supporting an ending designed to be both satisfying and haunting. The goal was never to simply wrap everything up with a bow. It was to honor the journey and to acknowledge that some doors, once opened, can never be truly shut. The darkness has been pushed back, but its shadow lingers. The Upside Down has been defeated, but its influence is now a permanent part of their world's history and its future. This is the ultimate secret Netflix never told you. The end is not the end, it's a transformation. The Duffer Brothers have crafted a conclusion to this specific saga, but they have also laid the groundwork for a darker, more mature chapter in the Stranger Things universe. The knowledge of the Upside Down is no longer a secret held by a small group of kids and a few adults. It is a known entity. The world is now aware that monsters are real and that other dimensions exist. This changes everything. The fight for Hawkins may be over, but the implications for the wider world are just beginning to unfold. So when you watch the final episode, look for the seeds of what comes next. Listen for the whispers in the static, watch for the shadows that flicker at the edge of the frame, and feel the lingering chill in the air. The story of these characters has been told, but the story of their world is entering a new, more uncertain phase. The nostalgic comfort of the 80s has given way to a stark, new reality. The gate has been closed, but the universe is so much bigger and scarier than it was before. The nightmare is over, but a darker dream is just beginning.